Thank you so much, Slacks. We are into it. Game number 1, Team Spirit versus Team Liquid, the upper bracket finals here between these two sides. You heard the panel, both drafts, seemingly the drafts that both sides wanted. This should be an absolute banger of a series here between these two teams.
That it should be. I'm really keen on seeing how much activity we do get out here from Collapse. Like the Sand King has felt pretty cool. We've seen it a few times mid, we've seen it a few times off lane, and it is a very potent hero, right? Like there's a lot it can get done in early timings. The lane is going to be fairly annoying as well. At least Mike does have reach, so he's not under constant threat of playing up against Caustic Finale and the Stun and the Sandstorm. He can kind of manage it. A little bit of an early kerfuffle, but not too much committed here.
Thank you indeed to Insania. We love you, Insania, of course.
Yo, do miss that guy.
Shout out to Natsumi as well, John. He's having a bit of a tough time right now.
Yeah, Mike's having a tough time as well, just walking back to the lane.
He is. Mike, Blood Grenade's going to land. They should have him now. Rue will cut him off, and Mike cannot escape. First Blood will go the way of Team Spirit.
Yeah, that's a bit of a brutal way to start here for the SF. We're talking about, again, managing that lane against Sand King, having to reach, having to reset, TP back in, not have that option later on. You're going to have to maybe be a bit cautious. On the mid lane, of course, you've got Laurel on that Lesh that we've seen quite a fair bit, up against Nisha on the Pangolier. And this matchup, I mean, Laurel should be feeling pretty good. Nisha does have some durability with double jump, of course, but there's a lot of magic damage coming out once you do have some points in the Diabolic Edict. Nisha can always shove the wave back, but when it comes down to it, the Leshrac does feel like it should be slightly favored. You know, you've got the damage deployed so long as you juggle your mana around fairly well. Water Rune control is going to be a pretty key part for that early aggression. We have seen some teams at the 4-minute mark actually go in for the contest. We'll have to see if that's something that Liquid and Spirit consider once that timer is up, once those bottles are ready for the initial refill, say around 4 minutes in. When it comes down to that, I do like the supports of Liquid a lot more, right? Like you've got the Naga Siren, you've got the Snapfire, all of this can play quite nicely into each other, into that mid with a Pangolier. There's a lot of ways to kind of set up for some action, and you can leave your silence alone, but not right now.
Ace already having a very hard time. Of course, the Jakiro TB lane, nothing to scoff at. These Jakiro Pulse 5 has been absolutely annihilating the laning stage over and over again throughout these games we've been watching. Panto obviously going to be no different.
Ace?
Ace is indeed going to go down eventually. How did he go down, John? Just a few hits from Yatoro? Or?
Yeah, just dual breath hitting, then you get the right clicks off. It's a ton of magic damage in that lane. And so long as, again, Metamorphosis is up, this kill threat is consistent.
It's so much slow. It's so much slow. Panto will eventually retreat. Yatoro ran out of Metamorphosis, so he didn't want to go any further. But man, these Jakiros, it's just such a devastating kind of thing to have to go against in the laning stage.
Yeah, and we've seen what happens for a hero like, say, Underlord with a slow start. You're going to hit the jungle, you're going to farm up, and maybe you get some impact with early Fiend's Gate later on. You'll get some rotations around the map, but stalling out this early tempo does mean that for a while, Ace might be a liability. You know, he's going to sit in that jungle, he's not going to get some connections, he's not going to be there for some Pit of Malice drops to set up, and you have set that really steady foundation out for Team Spirit with a really aggressive lane for Yatoro to play with along with Panto. We were talking about strong heroes in this tournament for Wallachia Season 6. The Centaur has been the #1 that's been showing up along with Slardar mid, and I'd say Jakir is right there as well. Like, this hero is just oppressive. Like, this combination of dual breath and reflection. You just can't run, and you can't mitigate that damage either as the Underlord. And it's just making it pretty hellish. Their lane is just constantly shoved in here for Ace, but he's never comfy farming.
Nice pickup though, top lane. Team Liquid able to find Collapse on the Sand King. Tofu going to secure that kill, so a bit of respite here for Liquid at this safe lane. And of course, Mike has been having a fantastic time. 18 and 5 in terms of CS. Doesn't seem like they're really able to contest the Naga Siren support too much either. So happy days for both safe lanes of either team.
Yeah. I like what Tofu's done as well to enable that aggression. He's gone Mirror Image Ensnare. So no value point in Deluge. We usually see that leveled early on to apply harassment. He goes for the setup, and it does allow you to, again, play with all of this early magic damage Mike has as well. The early rotation for the Water Runes come in. Tofu snags one.
Oh, it's so painful to watch this.
Ooh.
Boxy just trying to crawl away from Panto, force the TP out. There'll be no ice path to throw. And Boxy actually TPs into the mid lane. ready to help secure water runes if necessary against Lal. It looks like Lal won't be going for it anyway. So Boxy just going to ensure that Nisha does end up picking it up. And Boxy looks like he's just going to make the casual walk back to the bot lane anyway.
Yeah, I like this read from the side of Team Liquid. Again, maybe not the best of times down bot, but they take away one water rune up top. There's no refill for Laurel. He's going to have to play with Nisha with, again, a full complement of mana to just spam out the spells. And once you're drained of that mana on Laurel, your laning presence against this Pangolier isn't really amazing. You know, you're not going to threaten with right click. He's tanky enough to poke back. There is a slight kill threat that can come in, especially as the level 6 starts to ramp up here. So some very smart movement across the maps here from Liquid. All of that really coming in from Tofu just killing off, setting up for that kill on Collapse. If Collapse is alive, you can't leave that top lane.
Panther was trying to get aggressive onto Ace again with the Yatoro. Boxy does have something to say about that. Ace not doing too badly, 17-2 in CS. He's been forced to just hug this tier 1 bottom tower the whole laning stage, just understanding he can't venture anywhere near the creep wave to secure anything, and Yatoro taking his time to deny as many creeps as possible. Meanwhile, Tofu looks like he is scouting out the Radiant Triangle, and he will see Collapse, who is just farming the large camp. The Collapse now and Rue going to try to move in onto Tofu. And it looks like Tofu not going to be able to make it out. Will go down Panto. Great rotation, able to secure a kill for his side.
Yeah, it's a massive commitment out from Spirit, but finding that freebie does feel all right. I mean, you can leave your Terrorblade alone. There's no solo threat from the Underlord, and you can try to rotate onto mid just a tad bit, looking for those power runes as they start to spawn up.
Nisha, he's going to move in, but the Diabolic Edict, it's a lot of damage. Nisha, he'll roll away back towards the power rune bottom spot and does get the invis for himself. You really can't underestimate that Edict. So much damage. They'll still try and chase Lal down now. You've got Boxy around with Tofu. They'll get the ensnare into the real end. Lal trying to survive with the rest of his teammates. They'll turn. Boxy, he will just get annihilated. Too much damage from this Leshrac right now.
It really is. Maybe if you had the roll later on for Nisha, he's kind of forced to use it to escape that sticky situation, again, contesting these runes. And all of that for Team Spirit just stems from this movement, right? That TP in to punish Tofu for going pretty deep. You have Panto in position to kind of back them up for that first power rune. And yeah, Nisha finds it, but you get a kill in exchange. You're happy enough here on Laurel. Like, you get a nice gold injection, you're getting some work done, you've got the levels up, you're not that far behind in terms of EXP in comparison to Nisha. All your early spikes are aligning, and even the Shrines of Wisdom are relatively easy to secure as well. A 1-for-1, no biggie for either side, but it does feel maybe a little bit better for Spirit overall to not have it stolen away. I think there is always potential with a Pango. We've seen a lot of mid-Pangos just rotate in at the 7-minute mark. Because of that action mid, you don't have that opportunity either. And again, even with all of that movement across the map, your side lanes are really stable in Spirit. The Yatoro is still free farming. You've got maybe Collapse lagging a little bit further behind after that one death earlier on. But this Sand King should get enough room to farm up, especially since the triangle is very free here for Collapse later on. So he is going to have a good chunk of gold going his way for his own blink timing to line up here. No blocks coming out from Liquid. Very disciplined from Spirit to constantly clear out Tofu's illusions whenever he runs up here.
Oh, Tofu. They'll try and get out of there. Nisha, he will intervene, going towards Lal, but again, the Edict making it hard. Mickey's even showed up on the SF. He can get active pretty early on. Ice Path's going to lock him down, though. Mickey forced to pop the Requiem. It's only going to connect on 2. Panto, not even in danger. Runs to the high ground, and nobody ends up dying at this 8-minute power rune fight.
No, it's a bigger commitment out from Liquid, even dragging in Mikke, wasting some time. You know, he's missing out farm. And they don't even get to contest the stacks, right? All of that is to fight over these Ancients to prevent that catch-up farm from coming in. You don't quite have the levels in Liquid, it feels like. You're seeing the vulnerability of Nisha as long as Laurel has the mana to spam out those spells. You roll in, you're isolated, there's no one that can follow through, and you're just melting to that Edict from that Leshrac. Still a lot of focus on that mid, but the triangle has been cleared. Collapse does get a very needed gold injection his way on that Sand King. And the side of Liquid, I mean, it kind of goes for them as well, right? Like Ace is also catching up, but when it comes down to these early power spikes between these offlaners, you are much more fearful of the Sand King and his damage output in comparison to the sustain that Ace is looking to provide. Like, he's nowhere near some of these early aura items as well, just working into the Vanguard first. So his impact, despite all this space, is just going to be slower still in comparison to what Collapse can get with this very free triangle.
That Collapse certainly getting a lot of catch-up farm right now. Tofu again going to infiltrate that Radiant rather jungle. Panto is going to be there with a nice ice path. He'll ensnare and reel in. Dual Breath's going to be out. Boxy and Tofu got to play pretty carefully though, Lal. He's just to the left of them. Nisha's going to intervene to boot, but nobody dying. Rue will be okay to escape as well. And Liquid certainly trying to be very aggressive with the mid laners and the support duo, but nothing really coming of it as we go for another Power Rune fight. Regen picked up by Rue this time. Lal will at least try to punish him. Decrepify, gonna make it hard. He'll go for the Rolling Thunder. Here comes the Edict from Lal now. Nisha still chasing and does get away with it. Finally a kill in this mid lane.
Takes a long time for Liquid, and it doesn't go directly to Nisha, but you're happy enough with the activity so long as, I guess the big trade-off is, again, so long as you're not getting bullied out on, really the key thing here is Mike. You don't really care about Ace. You know this Underlord will farm up, but you want to free up that space for your SF, because when we talked about the offlane comparison with timings, the SF timing is also a little bit quicker than the Terrorblades, right? Like, you tend to go a little bit more stat padding on Yatoro. Damage will come later. He can maybe withstand that full Requiem if you were looking to play aggressive on Mike, sure, but you can clean up everyone else. And that's the key thing here for the side of Liquid. They know that their safe lane timing's quicker. They're forcing this attention elsewhere.
Lal's in big trouble. The ensnare into the kisses. Nice easy combo between the support duo, but it works.
Yeah. And that's one thing that Liquid was waiting for as well, right? There were so many circumstances where if you maybe got double Shrines of Wisdom and some of these fights work out, you get that early level 6, you get the kisses, all of this aggression from Nisha does get some follow-through on the back of that, eventually comes out, and that's what Liquid will now look to kind of play around, right? It's a minute-and-a-half cooldown every single time, so there's some breathing room for Team Spirit whenever that happens, and you have that full blink up on Collapse now, so he can look to commit with that early epicenter. They're going to go for the smoke with Panto. Not quite sure which direction they'd want. Ace would still be a relatively quick target. He's got 2k HP up now with that full Vanguard. A little bit tougher of a nut to crack. He is the only one hanging around the bot area, though.
He certainly is. Ace. It's had a tough landing stage. He's caught up very nicely, but now the jump in, Collapse with the blink into the Burrow Strike. Ace trying to get out with the Fiend's Gate, and he's got it. Nice quick thinking from Ace. He'll get out of there and just waste the time of Team Spirit.
Yeah, it's just, again, maybe optimistic to go for that. That is the blink reveal coming out as well. We got a beautiful shot of that gate on top of it. Lovely Eldritch thing. But you have revealed your one big tool now in Team Spirit. At the least, Epicenter wasn't expended. So Collapse still has this opportunity across the map if they find someone. Mike is still thinking about farming the area, but Collapse does show a little bit early here.
They do. Tofu gonna think better of it. Leaves them be. I do wonder how concerned you get knowing that Yatoro's just been kind of free farming this whole time. Top of the net worth board right now on the TB, and it is a Yatoro TB after all. It is very, very dangerous as well. Mid lane, he's forced to fight with the Edict. The Ice Path will land. Nisha is still melting, but he will be okay with the shield root. Close call, but they do secure another great kill into our Leshrac.
It's just so much damage, right? And it's lingering damage as well with the way Edict works. You have to be so careful for Nisha, because when it comes down to initiating at this point in the game, it's just going to be him. No one else is going to be up there. You could maybe drag in some Tofu illusions out, but it's still a fairly long cooldown on the mirror image across the map as well. So it can be a little bit daunting, but this is one big spike for Liquid with that defusal done. You can see how much they can get done with even just the inhibit to set up for all of these plays. And that should be, again, a launching point to connect with these supports. That's basically just the 3 heroes that you can play with at the moment. As, you know, your SF's going to need farm. Ace still needs more aura up. Looks like he's got the Blade Mail at least flying out now. Another scuffle over these runes.
Double, rather, amp damage as well. Burrow Strike from Collapse going to land right in onto Nisha. Macro Pyre, Ice Path, everything thrown. A bit of revenge here for Lal. So they will secure the life of Nisha, and it's going to be right into the mid-tier 1 tower for Team Spirit.
There's just no concern. And when it comes down to it, Nisha is that launching point. Nisha is the fight at this point. They'll try.
Nice setup from Tofu. They're all grouped up. Mickey looking for a Requiem. The timing's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Tofu. I didn't know he had such a beautiful voice, John.
And he does. Handsome face, beautiful voice.
He has me mesmerized. Collapse. He's going to jump in and try to get a bit of revenge. Tofu will die, but it's all for the greater good. What a perfect song setup.
Yeah. They clump up for that one on Team Spirit as well, feeling confident after Nisha dies. Maybe not expecting Mika to finally show up, but this is a physical SF. Still has a ton of output, of course, just with Requiem. And again, it's that setup. When the team fight control, you do have, if everyone does connect, hit of Malice on top of this with a song, the timing on the song as well, just perfection.
A work of art.
There's just nothing you can do.
Tofu the artist. Look at this. Unbelievable. You love to see that too. It's not so often we get to see those combinations these days, as Panto does go down mid lane. Boxy with the kisses will get the job done. Mega kill streak for Boxy already as well in the Snapfire, I might add. And Team Liquid now, 3K ahead of the net worth department. Suddenly Mickey and Ace both at the top of the net worth board. It seems like Liquid feeling a lot more comfortable now in this game number 1. On the hunt once again. They'll head up towards top through the river. Collapse will get hit by the cookie of Boxy. Another great target for Liquid to find. They've got Panto around, but they've got to put a stop to this Nisha Rolling Thunder. Collapse, he needs some help, he's still alive. Gets into the Sandstorm. TPs are incoming. Mickey will show up as well, but Collapse, he is still going to drop. Meanwhile, Lal, his TP got cancelled. Ace cancelled it off, so they can keep fighting. Panto will also drop. And Lal, he was trying to get there, but the TP cancelled the nick of time with the Pit of Malice. Drew sticking around for a healing Lotus, but Mickey, he's going to go for a bit of a cheeky chase. Nice TP. The Requiem. Just a quick clench of the butt cheeks there for Rue.
Yeah, if you had Yasha Kaya, maybe, that could be a reality. Still, it's not a Magic SF. You are getting the full physical, of course. Mask of Madness, Dragonlance into Manta here for Mike, and that timing is panning out. This is when Liquid starts to get stronger and stronger, and this is where some of your damage tapers off on the side of Team Spirit. Eventually, this pipe is going to get finished up on Ace, not that far off. So a lot of your output on Laurel and a lot of your output on your supports, even to an extent Collapse as well, starts to really taper off for a moment when Ace can join in. And it all becomes about this physical output on Yator, which, again, he has some stat padding up with a Manta, going into the Hurricane Pike for some defense, but you have to sit out into the Scotty timing at that point to feel confident with the front lining of your Terrorblade. So Liquid are in control early on. They can pick and choose their fights. You have this Underlord that doesn't even need to show on the map, just use the Fiend's Gate with a song setup as we've seen, and they might hunt again.
Rue tries to Decrepify, tries to Life Drain. Does buy a bit of time, not too much. But Team Spirit, they are grouping up. Collapse, he's in a great position by the Twin Gate to set up a fight. He'll cancel the Epicenter for now. Yatoro, he's going to at least find the Nagasara. So a quick support trade, unless they can't find him, and they don't. Tofu, still able to walk out of there. Just the Essence Ring, making it a little bit hard for Spirit to finish off the job.
It feels like Team Spirit's also showing a lot of respect for when they have to commit for these engagements, right? Like, they respect the song, they respect the Fiend's Gate. Now, though, Liquid looking to reinitiate.
Yeah, they're not done. Panto, immediate TP out. Tofu, oh my god. Never mind, I was about to say there's no TP cancel. Turns out they didn't need it, John.
No, you've got
Death is the greatest cancel.
Yeah, that it is. Nisha, that Diffusal and the early Orb of Blight just hanging around in that inventory, doing quite a fair bit of work here for a Pangolier. And things are about to get a little bit worse with the Axe build-up later on. You can see just that timing. How much longer did he need? 0.3 seconds.
0.3 seconds
for the TP.
How much damage?
Way too much damage.
My goodness. Jakira's not a soft support either. That's kind of the thing.
No, not the softest at the very least. But more than enough for the Bangalore to rip to shreds. And Liquid, again, they just take control of this game. This constant threat, the fact that you can't finish off Tofu because Song reset into Fiend's Gate fight, it's just maybe a little bit traumatic for Spirit after the last time on mid. It certainly does make things harder. They are trying out with a smoke. A rear flank coming in, looking to secure a fight into Tormentor here. See if they can find that primary target. That forward ward is still doing some good work here.
Okay, he's the big target. That's the one you really want. Panto, they'll get started with the kisses. Panto dropping, he will go down. Team Spirit, though, in position. They could go for Tofu. Find the easy support trade to get this team fight started. But they've got to be wary of that Song. Liquid have great counter initiation if the Song is good. Collapse, they'll see Nisha, that's a better target. They'll make the jump in on the Pangolier. Nisha is unable to survive. Ace is going to commit to come in through the Fiend's Gate. He'll find Lull on the left rack. Lull, he'll force stuff out. Rue's in trouble. They'll go for the Pugner instead. And Rue will go down. It's Tofu, the Song, it's not going to reach. Unfortunate. Lull will be able to TP away. And so instead, Liquid, they'll stick around for a quick Torment to pick up.
Now, quick swing into the gates. Panto in the firing line, but he does have vision to protect at the very least. So should be able to back off. For the side of Team Spirit, and you find that big kill, but it's not really everything you asked for, right? Like, you wanted to take Tormentor afterwards. You don't really get the security area. They get value from the ward. When Liquid, I don't think they mind, because you get that activity out for Mike. You saw the confidence in Ace running forward as well. He knows you can't actually try to kill Ace. He's got Blade Mail plus Pipe. All of that magic damage will end up hurting Laurel more than anything else. A little Tofu.
In a bit of danger. Does go down. Does tank the gank though for Ace, of course. Tofu just doing his job. So 8-14, Liquid with a 9k advantage. Mike still having a great old time. Of course, Yatoro still third in net worth. Still in a position where he can easily turn a team fight with this TB. Wants to get the Hurricane Pike into the Skadi timing, and as you and I always say, it's the Skadi timing with TB. Once the Skadi's up, then the hero is a real problem.
That it is. It just needs more time. Liquid is not giving them time. Roshan already at half HP.
Can they
are in
fight
position.
No Song up yet for Tofu. Another minute, in fact, for that Song if they want to try and force this fight from Spirit. But they're just trying to delay Roshan as much as humanly possible. Team Liquid for now stopping Roche. They'll go for the smoke instead. The 5-man smoke, in fact, wrapping around, but Panto in a good position. He'll break the smoke of Liquid. They'll have to rethink how they enter as Panto looking for an ice path. Will miss out. Ace will jump in. There's your Rolling Thunder as well, and Panto is gone. Kiss is out as well. They're just trying to buy some space for the Roshan to be finished off here for Team Liquid. It's still alive, just barely. Spirit have to make a choice. Do they want to jump? Do they not? They're going to jump in. Rue's there in the middle of it. Requiem, it's pop, but Roshan is still alive. Ace trying for Rue. Here comes Collapse. The Roshan. Collapse has got it. Collapse has got the Aegis. Yatoro, he's in trouble, but he's running. Making some space. The Pit of Malice, though, going to lock him down. Yatoro, he can't get anything off. He will drop. It's Collapse. Burrow strike into the high ground. But Team Spirit, they are going to make this a very expensive steal. Nothing comes for free when it comes to Team Liquid.
I will say, the positioning out from Boxy was just crazy. He kept hammering Collapse, canceling that blink. That's why Collapse had to go in outside of the Roche pit. He couldn't get that initiation they were looking for to really make it clean for Team Spirit. Like this Snapfire was just constantly looking for the Sand King. They were pinging that tree line for a long time. The kisses were flying out, landing just to cancel blinks. The Scatter Blast was landing to just cancel blinks. Even the cookie up. Like, all this time.
Lol. He wants to make a jump in. He will not, just goes back for the creep wave. So you've got to be very, very cautious now. Team Liquid just winning all the team fights, it seems.
They've got the output on Mike to just carry through. I mean, he's going into the Daedalus now, but even just with all of this additional damage from Necromaster he's gotten with the kills he's had, just 6 bonus souls, it's an insane amount of output on Mike without really needing too much just yet. Crystal is flying out now, so again, a little bump up in that DPS. And Liquid just in control of this game. 9-19, 13k lead. Team Spirit not out of it, but they've not been able to find the team fights they're looking for.
Collapse. Caught again. Nisha, complete control over the Sand King. Absolute control here from Team Liquid. Spirit, we're nowhere near out of this game yet, but very far behind. Lal, he'll clear out the creep wave, but Nisha is going to catch up to him, and Lal, all he can do is pop the Edict and hope for the best. In fact, he's doing a good job against Tofu, almost taking out the Naga Siren. But Nisha's going to have him. Cookie not going to make it in time. Rue at least gets through the twin gates. But they got the better target anyway. They wanted the Leshrac, and they'll have the Leshrac.
I mean, you just lose 2 cores for free. Liquid just not being punished at all, and it's all down to how they're working this map. They've invaded that bot area completely. They've got the tier 2 to cut down as well, and they're just playing as such a clean team. Right, like the way they're handling all of these positions, the way they're using the information on the map, the way they're scouting around and say Naga illusions, they're breaking off the initiation angles for Collapse. They know if Collapse is dead, there's no way you can start these fights on Team Spirit, at least not safely on Team Spirit's end, and they just feel free to hunt for more. Tier 2 bot falls. Nice and easy cleanup coming out as Nisha finds a freebie.
Panther gonna go down now. Nisha on absolute fire here in this game 1. 8-2-7 is the scoreline for the Pengali. Liquid still pressuring that bottom lane just a little bit. But they are going to start splitting up, heading towards the top side of the map, seeing if they can find another fight against Team Spirit.
Laurel
in trouble. Mickey
oh, Lord.
does indeed find it.
That was a Requiem from the tree line just for the fear, and then like 3 right clicks from Mike.
Ouch.
Just like that. A little bit of a magic trick out, and they could actually just go high ground. Collapse does have counter initiation. He's stuck up top. You see that Sand King just trying to farm. So they'll apply pressure, force the Fortify early. How do you stop this though? Even with Collapse up, without Laurel, you're lacking a lot of that early magic damage as well.
Team Liquid, they'll find a tier 3 tower. Team Spirit preparing for a defense. They'll jump in with the epicenter collapse. He found a 2-man Pyro Strike. They'll force Mickey 8 though. Ace in trouble, going low, but Nisha just controlling Collapse. Not allowing any kind of initiation from Team Spirit. Though Nisha, he's trapped in the tree line. The Songbow from Tofu. He's lined up 3 of them again, but they don't have the Requiem. They'll just disengage. Had they had the Requiem though, John, that would have been a real problem.
That it would have. Look at how much damage was flying out here from Collapse and from Yatoro. Almost 4k damage, mainly onto Ace, and it's just not enough still. The barriers coming in, the pipe getting work done, Atrophy Aura cutting off all of that damage. And this is that moment from Mike. 1 fear, 1, 2, 3, 4 right clicks.
Ow.
That's it.
That hurt.
And that was just a Crystallis on him.
Uh-oh.
Well, Daedalus up now for Mike.
Well, that's concerning.
It's risky right now. No Epicenter for the counter fight on Team Spirit. No Metamorphosis as well. Liquid, they know they can just go high ground. Even without the song, they've got Requiem back up if they want. And they've seen how unkillable Ace is. His barriers are off cooldown.
They've even got the Ags up on Ace as well, so Ace can catch them with a Fiend's Gate Pit of Malice in the back if they're not careful. Very scary fight. Team Spirit probably no choice but to just let at least the bottom racks go down. They do have the opportunity to go mid as well if Team Liquid feel confident enough, and I think they should. But it seems though Boxy, he's going to TP away. Team Liquid might just look to play for the next Roshan first.
And Boxy's so sneaky. Instantly Glimmer Capes to check around.
He's going to find Collapse, but Boxy is still completely alone. Fiend's Gate is going to be out there from Ace coming in as well as Boxy.
Fine.
He's still not dead. He's going to walk out of there. Nisha, meanwhile, finds Panther. And Boxy just walks out like nothing ever happened.
Oh, that's just sickening. You know, he walks down. I love the way he's going around this map. He pops Glimmer Cape after TP, instantly runs into that area, knows it might be warded in the ramp, which it is.
Collapse. Trying for Ace. Burrow Strike gonna land just on the tip as Ace. Pit of Malice will go down. He's a very tanky boy, and Mickey is gonna come in. They don't have enough. Tofu, he'll drop right in the center. Yatoro, gotta run. Collapse is already down. He's got nothing to do here but run. The TP away. No, the Rolling Thunder. It's gonna connect, and Mickey with the Requiem mistimes it. It doesn't matter. They'll still find the kill. Tofu will get the tip. It's all right, Tofu. We all do it.
Yeah, no. You know what that is? They were practicing because they already got the stun. The song was unnecessary. They just wanted to practice. Maybe prevent that Sunder from coming in as well.
Why not?
It does, yeah, everything. You know, it's not like you get a lot of high-pressure moments to test your timing with Requiem and song. So it's just a little bit of training. Liquid, you know, like they say, they win or they learn. Just like OG.
Is that your excuse when we're casting, John? You're just
I'm learning all the time, Mike. That's it. There's no wins here. So you can see again, how much damage can Ace soak up? He didn't have his barriers as well. He used his barriers to save Boxy. Like, that is without at least most of his aura down in terms of active, and you just don't have it yet on Yatoro. He doesn't have that full Scotty either. And again, they get the stun, they also get the song.
Beautiful.
And they practice. They learn.
Good practice, boys.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we got the timing wrong. It's all right.
Don't look at your support, Mickey.
Try again.
That was your fault. Don't look at your support.
Like, no, yeah, it's like, yeah, okay. That's not the timing.
It is what it is.
And get a freebie as well. You know, managing to find our poor Rue Pugna. But the smokeout, Team Spirit, Epicenter is coming off cooldown. Metamorphosis is not quite there. They need to work a good angle. If Liquid split apart, you can piecemeal.
But they just got BKB on Mickey.
It's not on him yet, though.
It's on the courier. It is on the courier. That is fair. Jump in. Epicenter is out. Have they got the opening? Mickey, 4 stuffed away. They're chasing with Lyle, but Mickey gonna try and turn now. He'll man up through it. Mickey! What a giga chat.
Oh, God, no.
GG! Team Spirit, they give it one last crack. But that'll be all she wrote in this game 1. Team Liquid looking fantastic as always.
That they are. They made that look really clean.
Game 3. No, nothing. Okay. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Slacks. We do go into game 2 here between Team Liquid and Team Spirit. You heard the man, Jonathan. Big Morphling is how they win the game.
Yeah, whether or not that Morphling can get big, I think is still the question on everyone's mind. It's going to be a little bit of a toughie for Yatoro, not the simplest morph game. At the same time, I guess, you know, hard control for the morph isn't quite there, so hey, you might be free to just weave in and out and do what you want. Still, we'll take a gander at the mid. By the way, lovely sounds, of course, from Slacks. I believe he sounds like one of those, what do you call them? The Boglets. That's how I imagine the Boglet sound.
A what?
The Boglet from the neutral camp.
Oh.
Yeah, he sounded like a Boglet. That's exactly how they'd sound.
Thank you, John.
So good job there. Still, mid lane, of course, DK up against Pango. Very boring, as you would expect. Should be much more stable for Laurel. I don't expect Nisha to actually bully out too hard. Mind you, he does have some good damage. Laurel has some good sustain and damage reduction. It's going to be a very heavy farm lane. You should edge out here on Laurel just off of Breed Fire and Denies. So, again, very static mid. Maybe not as important as well for the Water Runes as in comparison to Game 1. Should set our eyes elsewhere. Up top again, Yatoro on that Morphling. Should have a decent time in lane. At very least in the lane, up against a Slardar. There is this potential cookie combo that comes in later on that you can kind of get caught off guard by, but at the same time, you know, you've got Panto to kind of help with disengage with Tame the Beast. He's going to have Impalement Arts to poke back as well. Getting that full commitment out is easier said than done for the side of Liquid. The threat is constantly there, but you should have enough spacing here for Yatoro to be perfectly fine in farming as well. So, again, no early pressure coming in for the Morphling, at least not to be expected. Maybe some rotations out.
Oh, that's a lot of damage from the Bash to the Deep. Half his HP in one hit. Very, very careful with the Agi Morph, of course, this game in this laning stage. How's that bottom lane going? We do have Tofu currently chasing down Rue here. Rue gonna be okay. Now, this should be the lane, I'd argue, where we see the most action. Got a Silencer Weaver lane, usually very painful to go up against. Top lane, Panto is actually being chased down, but will barely survive. Yatoro also able to waveform out. I was saying the bottom lane should have the most action. Perhaps the top will be the competitor for that.
Yeah, both lanes does have potential to be aggressive. Right, again for top, it's this cookie combo with the chain stuns, Bash of the Deep, Slytherin Crush. It's not like you tend to expect escape act in laning phase, so Panto is always going to be at more risk than Yatoro. We are still seeing that poking and prodding down bot, that it is getting a little bit more complicated to commit onto Collapse. Has that reactive armor up, has the Timber Chain. You don't have steady disables on the side of Liquid with a Silencer, so Collapse always has an escape route out. And you're very mana constrained here as well for Tofu. Right, already out to cast a spell, maybe we'll have enough for maybe one spell cast later on, but your mechanisms to kind of drag them down are pretty expensive for Liquid in the laning phase. So you're not going to have consistent openings to kind of try to abuse in comparison to top, where, again, it's just a matter of finding that position. They are looking to pull the creep waves, maximizing that farm on Ace as much as possible. And really no contest that can come in here from Panto and Yatoro. Yatoro is still getting a fine job done of farming up. It's not as free of a time as you're seeing out from Mikado in comparison to this Weaver. Again, even though he can't kill the Tim, also isn't under much pressure as well.
A bit of a chase on a Boxy. These impalement arts, of course, from Panto, just such a frustrating ability to have to play against. One of your personal favorites, John.
Oh yeah, great hero. Love Ringmaster. Look, I'm happy enough they nerfed it, so it's not as bad, but Impalement Arts is still one of the worst spells to play against, I just feel like. I mean, I guess it's a trade-off, right? Like, you have Ringmaster for Spirit, but you're playing against Silencer as well, so both laners, or both cores in each side lane is just not feeling like they have a fun time in game, because these are probably the two most, not devastating, not winning, but annoying laning heroes to play up against. It's just a consistent nuisance that doesn't cost much for either side. So you're seeing, again, just throw that knife out, you're happy, slow them down. You're not able to really gun for these cookie combinations. Panto has been pretty disciplined after dropping low a while ago and where he'd want to be. And Yatoro, he always has that attribute shift ready, so trying to go for the morph early is not going to be there. Bit of poking on mid. It has been a very strong lane for Laurel, of course, as you'd expect for the DK. Taking control, 10 denies, slowing down that pacing from Nisha by quite a significant amount. He has half a level more XP on Laurel. So that's going to be an earlier Dragon form, that's going to be earlier pressure onto the tier 1. That's going to be at least half a level where Nisha's not going to have the response with a Rolling Thunder. Just perfectly happy times for Team Spirit with a DK at the very least.
Yeah, certainly so. Speaking of happy times, top of the CS board right now is Mickey on this safe lane Weaver, as we are seeing Liquid with their classic blocks, and sadly the Sentry on the Ancient just out of range for Rue to deny. Panto will get caught top lane. No chance of getting out. He's just trying to help Yatoro at least secure Boxy, but they do get first blood here on Ace. Boxy does eventually go down to Yatoro. So a trade has happened. Team Liquid, though, still able to secure first blood.
And you're happy enough in Ace. You get solo EXP in Yatoro, which arguably is maybe a little bit better for Team Spirit in that sense. Just having that quicker access to, say, level 5, get the emergency point and attribute shift, or that waveform for the cooldown. And you do stabilize. There's that Dragon form for Laurel, Corrosive Dragon, a little bit quicker on the push, and already starting to apply some of that pressure onto the objectives. Did you find the Haste Rune?
Tame the Beasts, rather. But Boxy's still going to get the Haste Rune. More importantly, they just deny it away from Nisha, which is what they really wanted. And now you can confidently start chipping away at this tier 1 mid tower. And that they will. Lal, he'll get started on that mid tier 1. No siege creep, though, to play with at the moment. Just trying to abuse the Dragon form while they can. Eventually, of course, they will look to retreat. And I was trying to say earlier, Mickey complete free farm right now in this wave. 45 and 11 in terms of CS. Collapse obviously can't do anything about it because he's playing Timbersaw. But Mickey certainly off to another amazing start here in this laning stage.
Yeah, and it's a little bit concerning to have that Weaver gain so much, because your hard control for Weaver, again, isn't also that amazing here for the side of Team Spirit. So there's a lot of ways for both of our carries to just kind of zip around. Maybe a little bit easier for Mickey, all things considered, so long as Laurel doesn't open up with the Dragon Tail first, your Weaver, again, is going to be quite happy in this kind of game. Shrines of Wisdom does go 1 for 1, so nothing too big happening either. No early skirmishes over these objectives. Maybe starting to get that confidence to get aggressive onto Yatoro top. We're seeing Mike again cop some pokes, but Collapse alone just won't cut it. And with Tofu around, at least some of that spell spam gets slown, maybe even a commitment here.
They're going to try now. Collapse, last word, going to silence him up with the curse, and they should have plenty of control for Collapse. He can knock it away. So Boxy able to claim that kill for himself here on the Snapfire. Sadly, Collapse having a rough laning stage for himself here in this game too.
Yeah, it's not been the most winning hero, as we saw those stats there for the Timbersaw. Has been having a rough time in the tournament. Rue having a rough time in this game.
He's also made a lot of stacks here in this triangle, at least for the large camp. So Liquid, they can just go claim these now. And they will. Nisha, he knows they're there. He'll leave Rue alone. He'll go right for the stacks instead. Mike, not to be outdone, will rush over as well. Lal, he's going to try and protect these by at least going after Tofu, but the cookie way for Tofu will mean he does break the distance. Impalement Arts won't land either. Panther will at least get the blood grenade, and Tofu will eventually die. But it seems like Liquid have already done the damage. Got most of the creeps in that large camp. That's not great news for Team Spirit.
Now, it's such an important source of income as well for, say, Collapse to maybe get online a little bit quicker, for Laurel to hit, say, a faster blink if you'd want that. You do still have the Ancient stack at the least. It's not as massive due to that block earlier on, but you do have at least one source still of income. Triangle of Liquid in comparison still relatively safe. Large camp is blocked, but easily enough to spot after maybe this missed opportunity out from Boxy. And again, it's been a stronger set of stacks from Team Spirit, making that take just all the more devastating for Liquid to find. 3-2, 9 minutes in. And for Liquid, this kind of lineup doesn't take too long to really get going, right? Like Ace is actually opting for the Shard first, wanting that AoE Corrosive Haze on the Crush, just spreading all of that minus armor for the Weaver to start cleaning up. Diffusal timing for Nisha isn't too far off either. Just about 400 gold away from farming that fully up. And we've seen what happens when Nisha does hit that decent timing and diffu. He does get active. So for Team Spirit, the concern is just, can you match that pace? Because you've got a Morphling who's going to sit back and farm. You know, it's going to be the good old Manta Butterfly for Yatoro. It's going to take a lot of time, although...
Minute Power's about to spawn. Lal will jump Boxy. They do get a nice amp damage for Nisha. Boxy will die, but Nisha, he'll pop the amp damage with the Rolling Thunder, trying to find Lal, but Lal in the corner, making it very hard for Nisha, who just now needs to run. And does successfully do so, but we can't say the same about Tofu. Does get left behind. And that'll be a double kill for Lal. A Collapse in a bit of danger, turns around for the high five. Doesn't want to leave without waving him goodbye.
No.
What a polite man Collapse is.
And he is. Big wins for Team Spirit, allowing a little bit of a poke on mid, but Dragon Form doesn't quite last long enough to really maximize the siege creep. So again, mid tier 1 stays alive for a little bit longer. Not the ideal for the mid TK to have to contend with, but yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbled sometimes. You are still in a really good spot for Spirit, despite that. Like again, there's some threat of tempo from Liquid. We're not quite at that point yet. And there is this moment where the DK Dragon Form's the one big thing you can clump around. Some stacks being cleared up by Laurel in that top jungle in the water camp. Gonna get that injection for the Blink, which is flying out now. So you have that steady initiation coming in from Spirit, but Diffusal up on Nisha. Damage output starts to get a little bit crazy. The inhibit slow as well. Can start to line up these shots a little bit more consistently for the side of Liquid. And like you were saying earlier, Mika has been free farming. He is going for that full Maelstrom Mjolnir build-up. So he is going for early right-click magical damage procs as well. Riding through both sources of damage with the physical, with all this minus armor they have. A bit of a clump up from Team Spirit, collapsing onto top.
Ace going to be spotted. Nisha is here. They'll drop the Will of Wonder to ensure Ace just gets held down forever. So Ace to go down. Liquid, they are coming in through the twin gate. Panto, he's going to be the man to get left behind. Not an even trade so far, but Liquid, they'll chase for more. Looking for Lull on the DK. More TPs incoming. Now the Global Silence committed. Team Liquid, They're trying to continue on to Lal. Lal's still not dead somehow, but the kisses, it'll take him out. Yatoro, meanwhile, jumping on Tofu, but he'll get stunned up. Yatoro is gonna go down. So will Rue. 4 heroes dead from Team Spirit. And Team Liquid, they only lose Tofu.
That looked so risky for Spirit in the middle of it
Ace as well.
They lost him. It's massive win for Liquid. Big issues for Team Spirit. You see the threat of Global Silence without the Dispels. Yatoro was very fortunate he didn't die faster. He was full Agi shifting. He was stuck Agi shifting in that engagement. They ignored him completely, trying for Laurel. And look, that opening onto Ace is nice. It's the ideal, actually. But Nisha was ready. Having this Pango around with a roll to disrupt that just makes that fight entirely different. And again, look at the time of Global Silence here. Watch Yatoro. When that GS comes in, he's Agimorphing. Very fortunate that they didn't hit him. A couple of swashes away, he would have been dead much quicker.
Indeed. I mean, obviously, in the end of the day, it didn't make the difference for poor old Yatoro. He at least able to secure Tofu before he does die. But Yatoro, no gameplay to be had once his team is all gone around it. Only survivor was going to be Collapse, who wasn't even there for the fight. Now Team Spirit still gripping up bottom. They'll try for the bottom tier 1 tower. Ace will be around with Tofu to just pull the creep wave away, and even Mickey just south of them. They've got Rolling Thunder back up if Nisha wants to join for a fight, but they don't need to because Team Spirit, they don't see the opportunity. They look to retreat back to their triangle.
Yeah, play it safe a bit. You're seeing all of that early magic damage coming in, even from Tofu, is really piling on. The Arcane Curse Last Word combination puts a dent on Laurel's HP. They know there's someone camping right behind. Smoke out from 3 heroes on Liquid. They've got the blink on Ace. He opts for it before the shard first. Not that it's 15 minutes yet anyhow. So they've got the initiation as well on Liquid.
Panto gonna get caught, but the escape act will give him a chance to get out. Tofu gonna give him the last word and the curse, but it doesn't matter. Will be perfectly fine, but of course Liquid, they'll open up a bit of space here for the mid-tier 1 tower.
They scanned Yatoro.
They do. They'll get a ward on him as well. Yatoro, he'll show on the creep wave, but Mickey and Foxy are on the chase, and so is Ace now as the kisses gonna come in. Yatoro trying to strength morph through all of this, but he has no waveform to commit to get out. So Yatoro gonna go down another time. Ace to secure. They try for Nisha in the mid lane, but he just Rolling Thunders out of there.
It's like we were talking about yesterday. All the small wins for Liquid, they maximize that. They see Yatoro in the jungle. They see him wave form into the creep wave, and they know that's it. We don't need to even wait for the initiation. Just start with a scatter blast. It doesn't matter. He can't run. And Liquid just chopping shop here. Team Spirit just need more time. Right, this is the one thing with this lineup, the one thing with this draft. Your Timbersaw needs time and space to soak. Your Morphling needs 2-3 items to be up really to start to feel confident in these engagements. The Manta's going to be a good start. Even that recipe is still a ways off here for Yatoro. And your DK, he is strong. Like Laurel does have a lot of output, but you don't really have the cleanest connections to get done here. A very quick blink up coming out here for Boxy as he's already shipping it out on our snap. Just Brown Boots blink. This guy's a menace. We saw it in the last game with how he picks and chooses these fights. We're going to see it again. Having that early utility on this hero is just nightmarish.
Collapse? Well, they're going to see Collapse. Rue, he'd already backed off. Tofu, he's still going to get chased down though by Collapse, and he'll walk away with a kill. Collapse pretty happy with that kind of retreat. Lal, they'll miss the initial slithering crush here onto the DK, and now the Will of Wonder from Panto. Going to ensure they cannot try to continue the follow-up. So Lal, he'll be able to survive up at this top lane. And they still know where he is, but they won't make another attempt at his life.
Nah. They've learned their lesson on Liquid. Showing respect for the re-engage potential. And again, Corrosive Haze still running. You know he's still posturing. They can look elsewhere. They had a glimpse of Rue on mid. Doesn't take too long for the Shadow Demon to fall if they'd want that, although...
Well, they're going to find an easy pick-off on Tofu. He'll get the Global Silence up before he dies because mid lane they are fighting. Rue does also go down. Be a 1-for-1 trade in the supports. Collapse trying to connect mid. Not going to find any stragglers though. Liquid, they have successfully retreated. But such a close game this time around. Game number 2, 9-8. Very slight net worth lead the way of Team Spirit. Even the carries just about 200 gold away from each other in terms of net worth.
Yeah, the one thing for Liquid in that last engagement, having to pop Global Silence, it's a minute 20 where Team Spirit's going to feel safer. And Team Spirit, for their part, does have some defensive tools up. Manta just finishing up on Yatoro. You've got that Lotus Orb up on Collapse.
Toro trying to jump on Ace. Rue's going to be out as well with the Demonic Purge on Ace. And that does a lot of damage from Yatoro. Chasing down Boxy now. Boxy has Blink in 5. Does get a very nice juke. Not going to be spotted. He'll be all right to TP out eventually. But if you're Yatoro, you're still very happy. You got the big slaughter. Mickey?
Oh.
This is even bigger. Will of Wonder, it's not going to lock him down. Mickey will be all right to time-lapse out of there. But suddenly Spirit, they're the ones hunting. Jump in. Lal. Going to be the target now of Liquid. Escape back, though, going to make it practically impossible to try and kill off this Dragon Knight. They weren't even close.
No. And for the side of Liquid, again, their lineup has a lot of minus armor, but there's just so much durability on Team Spirit outside of just armor, right? Like they have the raw HP as well to withstand some of that debuff coming in from the side of Liquid. And I completely forgot this, but we've seen this Morphling versus Slardar before. And this becomes a nightmare in the late game when Yatoro is just constantly turning into Slardar, getting free bashes off, having all of this attack speed and damage. It can get hellish fast if Yatoro is still allowed to play his game, which he is. They've managed to pressure him out earlier on. They haven't been able to really find his Morphling. And once that Butterfly is up with a BKB, Yatoro is not going to care. Global Silence won't catch him off. Your instantaneous stuns. There is a window to actually Manta off quite a fair few of them. And if Yatoro sees Ace and he turns into the Slaughter, or even just turning into Mika's Weaver, this Morphling, it gets very scary. Like, especially the Slaughter form. Like, it's unbelievable how much chain stun the Morphling Slaughter form does. It's just unstoppable almost.
Suddenly Team Spirit, I mean, 3 cores right below Mickey on the net worth board. They've caught up so nicely after a challenging laning stage. And Spirit, they're looking towards that 20-minute mark for the Tormentor, but Liquid, not to be outdone, they're going to go for a smoke and wrap right through the river, up towards the Tormentor as well. They know Spirit will go for this. They'll run into Collapse first. Collapse should be able to break the smoke. So the Tormentor has been started. Collapse, he won't break the smoke yet. They'll get a nice scan though. So Spirit, they'll know the smoke is coming as the kisses. They are going to be committed, but they find nothing. Spirit looking for a target. They'll find Ace first, but Nisha with the Rolling Thunder, he'll put an end to it. Ace still being chased down by Collapse, but he is able to get out of there. Meanwhile, Nisha running out of that Rolling Thunder timing. Lal's going to jump on Nisha this time. Nisha tries to swashbuckle away. She'll crash out, but it's not enough. Nisha is gone. Collapse down the chase. Will run into Tofu. Tofu will also drop.
Hey, you're seeing the issues come out for Liquid. Right? You're in such a tight tree line. These Whirling Deaths just rip some of your strength heroes apart, especially Ace. He's not comfy until some protection comes in, which he doesn't have. And he is going for the Echo Saber, going full damage on this Slardar. So you're not going to have a way of, again, mitigating some of this output now on Team Spirit. Team Spirit's just too tanky. Like, this minus armor idea is good on paper. It's very hard to consistently apply those debuffs, right? You're talking about getting Corrosive Haze constantly off cooldown. You're talking about always getting these Slitherine Crushes off. The Swarm always connecting and staying alive. It's no fight is that perfect, even for Team Liquid. And it's going to be an issue of damage going forward. Especially, again, as we start to approach more items flowing out here for Team Spirit. Butterfly for Yatoro, just lacking that talisman of evasion now on the Morph, so he's just going crazy. We saw him as the Weaver. The capability to just keep chasing down, and his output on this hero is just insane. You have to find the Morphling, feels like, first, or the backline supports. Taking care of Rue is massive. This disruption save is just way too obnoxious, buys so much time for the side of Team Spirit. to actually choose to re-engage and or even just isolate a key hero like, say, Ace. You have to work the backline. They tried really good smoke timing from Spirit, and the Kisses, you know, doesn't really see much outside of Laurel, which really isn't your primary jump target anyway. So you don't get the info you want for Liquid. Good news for Liquid is that Global Silence is back up. They're happy enough. They can kind of look for a fight if they'd want to. And you are still keeping pace on Mike, right? Like, he's matching Yatoro's farm. He's going for the Hurricane Pike first on this Weaver. Would want some damage to start flowing out, though. It does feel like damage is going to be the big thing that holds Liquid back if these fights don't end up, you know, finding the backline first. The sustain that can come in for Spirit is overwhelming.
And that it has been. Has not been an easy time for Liquid recently.
Dire's top tower is under
They'll slow down a little bit. Looks like they'll give Mike the time to get that Hurricane Pike up that he really wants.
Radiant are scanning.
Nisha getting pretty close as well to the Ags. That'll be another important facet for them to have available for the next team fight. Butterfly, though, completed on Yatoro. Going to make life even more challenging in trying to burst him down. That will not be very fun.
No.
And it seems like Yatoro is trying to sneak Roshan. And with the Butterfly up, it's not really that hard for him to do it by himself, but that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I love seeing that from Team Spirit. They're smoked up as well to just try to force a fight in that jungle, buying him space. Collapse is showing on the map to distract. Liquid are not in position to contest. Like, Nisha is all the way up top. Very sneaky Roche for Team Spirit. A secondary life for Yatoro, especially before the BKB. Safety net is going to be massive here for the Morphling to actually, again, play a lot more aggressive. We're getting the voice lines out as the Roshan goes down. Do have Boxy hanging around on the cliff, acting as a ward. He has a blink. He's fine. He's
Very
just
cute.
keeping watch.
You can actually see stuff like this in Australia, John.
I know.
You can actually.
Can you actually ride a Crocs?
I wouldn't recommend it,
But you
John.
could.
Well,
You're saying I could ride a crocodile.
I mean, there's such a thing called a death roll, John. I'll let you do the Googling on
That sounds fun.
I mean, it's fun
For
the
croc.
crocodile, yeah.
I think I'd had fun.
Don't touch crocodiles, ladies and gentlemen. It's not fun.
No.
Believe me.
Smoke out. This could be fun for Liquid. Instant Aegis. But again, if you find the backline, perhaps, it could be the way to open up these engagements. Ag's fully done on Nisha. So more output, more mana burn to play with.
Liquid trying to move in Nisha. Great target in Rue. Rue is already gone on the Shadow Demon. They'll find Lal as well, but they find the secondary support in Panto. So both supports gone now for Team Spirit as Collapse. He's diving very deep to try and secure the life of Tofu, and he does get it. But he's in the high ground. Chain away to the low ground. Lal's going to jump in. Stun is out, Yatoro. He'll take care of Nisha.
Oh,
now they're
at
on to Ace and
Look at the chain
Yatoro.
stuns.
Oh! Well, that doesn't seem very fair, Yatoro.
No, it's the Morphling into Slardar. It's the game ender decider in the draft. If the Morphling isn't fully shut down, you just turn into Slardar. You're having a good game. And it looked like such a good start for Liquid. It's everything we could ask for. They kill off the back line. You try to isolate away Collapse. Even Boxy
Ouch.
angling nicely here with his blink. You see that damage output from our Morph. It's insane. And they play it smart in Liquid. Boxy held on to the cookie, blinks down, tries to catch out Collapse, but where is the burst damage? You have damage. These are high armor heroes, and again, you're not able to leverage all your minus armor every single time. So they're just tanky anyway on the side of Team Spirit. They take a free Rax, Age is still up, no problems for Team Spirit. On the re-engage, by the time they take the next fight, BKB is going to be up on Yatoro, nothing to stop the Morphling. And that's really your big threat. Like, yeah, the backline supports are important. You'd really want Rue down and Panto down before you take the wider fight. Even then, you don't have the output just yet. It's just not there. Mika is trying to hit. You know, Ace can't match the attack speed of a Morphling when he's a Slardar. Just a better version of himself. And Nisha, he is disruptive, but there's just no damage to, again, deal through all of this disruptiveness that he's doing on the Pangolier.
Absolutely not.
Radiant's top
Nisha
tower is under attack.
going for the Nullify build-up now. Team Spirit. 12k advantage on their side of things.
The rest of you
hold on to the high ground here. Yatoro, this top lane, he will farm around. Nisha's thinking about trying to set up something against this Morphling. Rolling Thunder pump fake. Yatoro will go for the top tier 1 while he's there. Liquid are going to try and creep skip, but they'll see Collapse as well, and they certainly don't want to run into him right now. No group up from Liquid. Nisha, he'll just clear out the creep wave. Collapse, though, is going to go for at least a chase. Misses out on the vision on Boxy. The Shiver's Guard just out of range. Meanwhile,
Ace.
mid, Ace does get caught. Just all over the map, Team Spirit are hunting. And even with just Lal and Panto, they're able to secure the life of Ace, which means Team Spirit, they'll make the call to try and go for the bottom racks now.
Nothing stopping them. They have a minute of time. They know Ace is so important because
Nisha! Trying to set up for the creep skip. Not going to get it. Lal will take care of him. And suddenly the bot racks is being taken quite quickly. Liquid in no way, shape or form can defend that. Thankfully for them, the T2 tower still stands up atop, but oh my, Boxy just deleted. And they're onto the tier 4 towers.
and there's nothing to stop it. Like even with a respawn of Ace, without Nisha, he does have buyback, but you need a Corrosive Haze, you need some good lucky swashes to get some lucky shots in. Even then, it doesn't feel like Mika is ready with damage. He's got the full Monkey King bar to hit through the evasion, but needs that Daedalus. And again, even then, how are you going to stand and hit as a Weaver here?
I mean, they gotta go. They gotta go. The Ancient's halfway through done. Yatoro, he's not stopping. Nisha, he's gonna try and jump into the back, see if he can stop anybody else at the Global Silence now. But Mikkei's already gone. No buyback. Liquid, they might keep trying, but they call it. Without the Weaver, there's just no chance of a defense. And Team Spirit, in style, will successfully force this to a Game 3.
Yeah, it looked pretty even to start here. Liquid was finding some decent enough openings. You know, they were applying some good pressure. But in the end, Team Spirit, they just needed to hold out, get that farm going, and eventually that Morphling into slot.
Okay, let's get into the game.
Thank you so much, Slacks. Game number 3 here between Team Liquid and Team Spirit. Both sides currently one game away from being able to secure Grand Finals here at Wallachia Season 6. At least a spot in the Grand Finals.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe? Based off drafts, I haven't asked you this today. Who do you think came out with the better drafts going to this third game?
It's very even. I can see a world where Team Spirit takes over. I can see a world where Liquid start to take over in this one. I don't know if you can ever bet against Boxy Spirit Breaker. That is another thing as well. Even though all the saves are there, I mean, this guy's just annoying. Look at that. He got the bash off and collapse.
Easy.
So he manages to take a bounty. Tips are already out.
So easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
That might have been first hit of the game, bash.
Yeah, it was. That's why they're tipping it. I have a rule every time I play Spirit Breaker. If I get a first hit bash, it's a guaranteed win. I guarantee it.
There you go. That's, well, there it is.
There it is.
You know, there it is. We'll see for Liquid. As it has been a back-and-forth series, Team Spirit has been very good at pushing back in Game 2. And this time around, I mean, you've got this mid-matchup of Puck versus Ember again, and we've seen Embers just have a grand old time here. You go for the 1-1-3 build. You can't pierce through that magic shield here as a Puck. You get run down. You get a lot of damage off of you as well with the right clicks that Laurel is employing. And that is the concern here for Nisha. A slower game for Puck doesn't feel great. You know, Puck can still have impact, but it tends to be a little bit more challenging without that early start. This time around, I'd expect rune control to be a big part of managing this mid, and that's where it circles back to Boxy, right? Like later on, he's going to have the charge to come in. Tofu's going to have, say, the utility of the cookie plus the scatter blast to play poke from range, and can kind of really set up nicely onto that position. Tofu's under a lot of pressure down bot. He is buying some room out for Mika to just get free farm in a melee matchup that the Ursa can kind of play against. At the same time, it's not the worst thing in the world for Collapse. As long as he has Swash away, he is safe enough, and he's got some durability in the shield crash as well. But it can just be a very stable farming lane for Mika. The threat really lies on if Tofu can find the Scatterblast cookie, the burst potential for Mike is really there. Even from the laning phase, you can melt something like the Pango, melt something like this Ringmaster if you're not too careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't forget either. You've got the rotations from Boxy to rely on as well. I imagine we'll probably see those rotations very early on as Boxy. He has been tending to go through the twin gates around the level 2 mark to start finding these early pickoffs. We won't see it yet though. And well, speaking of which, I mean, the last lane, the top lane, is the one we haven't really discussed too much. Of course, we do have the gyro of Yatoro on Panto. Boxy is going to be there on his Spirit Breaker, currently chasing down Panto a little bit, just trying to be as annoying as humanly possible, ensuring the small camp pool does not come off. And once he has that level 1 charge, that's when the shenanigans can start for Boxy. He's just going to soak that XP from Ace, and then he can just leave.
Yeah.
No need to stick around.
I mean, Ace is going for a more defensive build. Of course, the reactive armor at level 2. Now level 1 in Whirling Death. No chain, so there's not a lot of threats you can leverage here onto Yatoro, and that should mean free farm for the Gyrocopter, at the least, as the trade-off here for Team Spirit. You're seeing some early movement. Rue just chasing down a bit, maybe trying to go for the pull, doesn't quite find it. And Boxy, again, being as much of a nuisance as he can be, still waiting for that level 2, and at least has the salve to sustain through all of that harassment. And is going to be able to just heal up fine, start to set up. You saw Nisha as well a while ago. He picked up the Water Rune, he denied the other one. They could set up for the 4-minute Water Rune as well, which for Puck versus Ember is just so key for either side to start to eke out an advantage. Overall, very even time on mid so far. Nisha kind of offsetting this matchup by just having that rune control on hand. And Laurel not getting the top up is, you know, pretty much hurting his threats onto Nisha. The lack of resources does make it harder when you have to deal with a puckish Puck.
It certainly does. You do have the level 2 now up on Box, so things do get a little bit scarier for Team Spirit. Won't leave the area yet though, still messing around with Panto. There's your charge out. Where are we headed? Into the mid lane, Lal. He's going to have to play around here for this Water Rune. Rue's going to move in, but this still could be a horrible team fight if Boxy... No, he'll cancel. Wasn't underneath the T1 tower. Even Rue's going to show up now to boot. They'll at least secure the other Water Rune for Lal, and in fact, Boxy, he's going to get caught. They will secure his life. Panto, able to get first blood once again.
Some good punishment out from Team Spirit. Again, emphasizing these early runes, even just the Water Runes at 4 minutes, so important for Laurel to have that space. I don't think Nisha's going to mind too much, but First Blood going the way of Laurel pretty late, or at least a Panto pretty late, is not the ideal. At the same time, you know, are you really missing out on much? Ace is having some solo EXP gains. He's not completely pressured out. He is lagging behind in CS, but that's to be expected. Your bot lane for Mike, without that additional support on hand, without Rue, you are happily just farming. So, yeah, you feed out First Blood, but you're winning out your lanes nicely enough. You're getting enough out of these lanes to compensate, and you really don't care at all on the side of Liquid. See how much more even snipes a nice courier with boots on top.
That's a very nice courier. Looking for Yatoro's as well. Yatoro will get his courier out of there. Already had the items offered anyway. Panto, very nice. One bash. Can we get another? Not yet, we can't. There's another. Oh, he gets a charge bash. Not yet, Panto gets the decrep. He's okay. Ace is moving in, Whirling Death. He actually cancelled the TP here, Panto. Gonna go for a run, but Ace has got him. They'll get him eventually on this puck.
Oh, you gotta love Spirit Breaker. Just shenanigans. That's all they need. Ace is still happy enough. There's no mana.
Toro, he's playing with fire. They'll dive under the T1, but no. No more. They don't have a creep wave. They don't want to risk their lives here against the Gyrocopter. 1-1. So far, 6-minute Power Rune is going to go the way of Lal. It'll be a nice arcane for the Ember. Nisha really could not contest with that low HP pool.
Now he's forced to reset, buying some space on mid. And you have equalized this lane nicely, though. Again, Nisha hasn't really lost out. He was under pressure. He hasn't died. He has his 6. Laurel has it as well. But you have managed to find yourself an even footing in a matchup that can kind of go mostly to Ember. So you have some foundations to play with on the side of Liquid, at least from the mid. But it doesn't feel like this is the kind of game where you should expect a lot of pressure. Liquid does tend to enjoy playing fast, and they do have the Spirit Breaker on hand for that. Still,
It's out from Lal. Be quite hard to connect onto the Ember Spirit with this charge. Shrine of Wisdom, of course, is what they're going to be fighting over. So Lal just getting in position to help out his team just in stealing this. As the chain's out once again, Lal already chipping away at Boxy and Ace. Nisha's going to intervene to boot. In fact, Tofu's even here as well. They'll commit the coil onto the Ember Spirit. Yatoro will show up to boot. They're onto the Ember. Lal, he's out of there! Lal finally goes down. Mika, he'll snipe him. Yatoro, he's also in trouble, but they might find Nisha first. Nisha is going to survive. Yatoro, the one to go down. Rue cannot secure. The puck is alive. And Mike with the rotation. Clean up at the top lane.
they find everything. He even finds a Shrine of Wisdom up top. He was setting up for it. He managed to get that zone out. And they just collapse onto the bot one. They stall out. They balance their bodies really nicely on the Shrine just to ensure it doesn't fully channel. And they got all the bonuses. You see, because you have a Spirit Breaker. You want to have this fast level 6 threat. Boxy's now level 5 after running around the map. You're also maximizing that herd mentality coming in, of course. So it always feels good, even for your other support. As we'll see again, them dancing around this area quite nicely while Mika starts to walk and take that Shrine of Wisdom top right after, just looking for the rotation in. And they're just spreading the damage. They're clumped up enough that this Rocket Barrage doesn't really melt anyone necessarily. They do lose a couple of heroes, sure, but that's enough time for Mika to show up and clean up and claim the big one they wanted anyhow.
Very concerning as well for Spirit. Like, you don't want to give all these kills away to Mika of all people this early on. It's going to give him such a big gold influx to get an early Battle Fury. And that it should be very, very early at this rate for Mika. It's like Lal's going to try and move up to the top lane now, see if they can secure the life of Ace. But it seems like they have a decent read that Lal might be making this movement. And in fact, he was underneath vision. So no kill to come from Team Spirit. Lal will eventually just leave and go back to the mid lane. Yatoro, of course, back to the farm game on the gyrocopter. But again, I do get very concerned for Spirit here, considering Mika, he just got this huge injection of gold. See how quick he can get this B Fury up.
It's not going to be too long. Double broadsword's already up. And not much more until, you just get the entire thing going. For Mika, he's been granted so much room down bot. I mean, you could argue the same for Yatoro up top. The Gyrocopter has also just been free farming. Does have decent levels into the flag to kind of clear out. It was, again, maximizing Rocket Barrage, of course, so maybe not as quick as you'd want here for Yatoro. Collapse, just getting poked a bit. Not going to be able to really threaten onto Mika either, although they do get the gate movement across the map here. Down bot, the roll.
Going for a roll. Mika has the enrage. Will pop the roll once again. Kisses to fly in and buy a bit of space for Mika. He'll be okay. Nisha, he's rotated. The coil catching two of them. Lal's dropped very low on the Ember. Boxy now to charge in. He's right onto the Pango collapse. Still alive though. Will look to retreat. Team Spirit, they lose nothing. But they have no choice but to get out. And Liquid, they will successfully protect their bot lane.
Costs a lot of spells from both sides. One thing that Liquid does have on top of everyone else is that Ace doesn't even bother showing up. Like, he's just holding top, he's getting farm, he's getting that catch-up he'd want on the Timbersaw, actually eclipsing the farm of Collapse and Laurel. And eventually this Tim is going to be a threat. It's going to be the Kaya build-up here early on.
Bash.
You get the jump.
They do. Chains out from Lal. We'll go for a chase into Boxy. Rue is going to die in the mid lane. Boxy, he's got charge but no mana for it. He'll try and sidestep against Lal. Lal's still trying to play games. Boxy trying for deny on the neutrals, but it's not going to happen. Nice secure from the Ember. 1 for 1 on the supports. But with the siege creep in the mid lane, Liquid, they're going to try and start applying pressure.
And they are. They still have a safety net of the jungle as well. You saw those triangle stacks being cleared out by Ace because of all of this action's been happening very far away from that top area. It's still intact. You have all of this farm that is getting, again, reinvested for that timing on Ace for the Kaya, maybe the Lotus Orb afterwards as well. And so much free room for Mika. Battle Fury now already up, just flying out now on the Ursa. That farming pace, it's already better than Yatoro's. It's going to get even faster for our Bear with this timing up now on Mike. And for Team Spirit,
Radiant
I mean,
are scanned.
again, there's some early timings that you're waiting for. Diffusal Blade for Collapse is the big one. You've already got that full urn. Spirit Vessel, I believe, might be flying out now as well. There you go. Full Spirit Vessel up on Laurel.
Is under attack.
So there's some good ways of trying to get some damage off, getting that chase down. But, you know, for Yatoro, it's just going to be more time. You don't expect the Gyrocopter to kind of make these aggressive plays, especially if you're not gunning for something like the quick Chrysalis here. It is going to be a bit more of a farm game, and that's something Liquid can use against them. They've smoked up on Nisha and Tofu. They've got the Coil Kisses combo ready. As the triangle's being cleared out, but Yatoro's stuck up top.
He certainly is. Team Liquid moving north. Nisha, Tofu smoked up. Boxy will be right behind them. Yatoro, he is retreating at the right time. He'll get towards the Twin Gates, but no. Do they see him? They don't. Very nice rotation out from Yatoro. We'll get to the safety of the bot lane with the rest of his team. Yatoro, the one saving grace right now for Team Spirit. Just 500 gold behind the Ursa at this stage. Speaking of that Ursa though, Mike, of course, has the Battle Fury. His farm will escalate a lot faster now. So Spirit will start to move on to the bottom T1 tower. There'll be no defense from Liquid. They'll happily let this one go. They'll just trade the top T1 instead.
Yeah, for Team Spirit, having this full Diffusal up and Collapse does mean, again, the opportunities are starting to pile on. You know, Timbersaw's not going to enjoy the mana burn, already having to play up against Nether Ward on hand, so the spell spam here for Ace is just going to feel fairly annoying. He still has all of this room in the triangle, and the Lotus Orb at least isn't too far off, so they have some form of Dispel on hand. The one big thing for Team Spirit that allows that escape from Yatoro was a really good scan in that spot. They get the scan off, he sees that, just backs off immediately. Heads up from Team Spirit to dodge out Liquid's early aggression here. For Liquid's part, they still have this really strong combo of Kisses Coil. Just haven't been able to find suitable targets. Team Spirit are playing fairly clumped together, but in very secure areas of the map that Liquid can't easily breach. They can't even breach with, say, Boxy charging. They're just not showing that kind of vulnerability you want to exploit as a Spirit Breaker. They've been very disciplined on Team Spirit. They know what to do up against Boxy. Just not show up one by one in unsafe parts of the map with Creep Wave. And hey, are you really going to charge someone who's right next to a very strong TP point? No, you're just not going to do it. At least not now for Boxy.
Absolutely not. Maybe me, John.
You would.
I might have done that.
Yeah, you like risks, right? How's the graphs looking?
Don't remind me, John. It's not nice. Not
Graphs looking good.
that graph's looking.
This graph's looking good. All the way up for Liquid so far.
That's a great graph.
55 to 45. Not a massive advantage. We are only 15 minutes in. Again, the foundations are there. 56 now. 56 to 44%. Still not massive. But there is timings. Mike has the blink. If they can find a kill into Roshan, that'd be a big opening. Collapse and Boxy dancing around each other a little bit on the top. Just completely avoiding. Side of Team Spirit taking over that bot jungle. Don't really have the forward ward setup as well. They only have it on the gate. Would want to see maybe deeper reach if they'd want to maintain aggression. And maybe an opportunity for Liquid to clump up again. Nisha and Tofu
Panto charges out. They'll have an easy kill on Panto. Lal also around. Boxy going for the Nether Strike and the Dream Coil to lock Lal down. He needs a bit more time for the Remnant. Does he have it? He does. Lal, he'll barely get away. The Kisses at least finding Rue as well, so they can find another support here for Team Liquid. But narrowly missing out on the Lal Ember.
Yeah, they didn't quite have Tofu around for the cookie, instead opting again for the Kisses to come in. No additional stun. And you are happy enough in Team Spirit to not lose Laurel, but you get some good freebies on the side of Team Spirit. They do respawn quick, so it's not the opening for Roshan you're looking for. And you had to drop the coil. There's a bit of a brief window here for Team Spirit. Not too long, though. Even this amp damage on Laurel is fading away, but Yatoro does make his way into this fight.
Jump in. Boxy, he's the one to get caught. Boxy immediately bursted down by Collapse. Tier 1 mid tower now going to be targeted here by Team Spirit. It's not looking like a fight that Liquid are intending on taking.
No. I mean, they can. You know, With Dream Coil down, it's just not safe. Without Boxy to charge around as well, you don't have that wave splitting apart or punishing Team Spirit. You are held back. They still maintain that lead as they jump in a little bit.
Escape back going to be out. They will get Panto out of there just fine. Chains are committed. However, Coil will lock down Lal another time, but Lal, he's actually pretty tanky, and he's also got his team behind him. Lal now on the hunt to see if they can find anyone. Nisha, he has been spotted. They'll stun him up the Rolling Thunder. The Hypnotize as well, the Will of Wonder will lock him down long enough. Yatoro will secure the life of the puck. Team Liquid, they do at least get everyone else out.
That re-engage attempt onto Laurel, Liquid, they couldn't bring Mike up. I think he had a Spirit Vessel running on him as he was looking to blink in. So he's just stuck without leveraging that damage. And even if he jumped in and you found Laurel into all of those heroes of Spirit, might not have been a clean time for Liquid anyhow. Team Spirit finding some really good openings from the aggression Liquid's trying to bring out. And so far hasn't really yielded the dividends here just yet for the side of Team Liquid. They still maintain the 4K lead. You know, this is not a bad game by any means yet for Liquid. They're getting a lot of farm out on Ace, who has recovered to a really good point. Number 3 net worth right behind Yatoro now. So our Timbersaw has been given so much free space to farm. They've let Nisha kind of cop the short end of the stick. And Ace does have the Lotus Orb at least to make up for it. Going into the Kaya Sanj now fully. But eventually we'll need Ace in these fights as well. He needs to be the one copying all of these belts. He needs to be the one to come in with a dispel for Nisha if he's caught off guard. Kind of provide some openings here. Collapse.
Look at the collapse. Nisha with the silence. Coils of... Oh my god! Ace with the whirling death. Just making collapse disappear at that top lane. So 1-for-1, but certainly in the favor of Team Liquid, who's still holding to a 4K net worth lead. You've gotten close to a stage as well where Mike, the Ursa we haven't really talked about at all. It's got the blink up, getting very close now to finishing off the full BKB. And that should be around the mark where Mike starts to join his team for these fights.
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying. I think a couple of opportunities again around that bot Roche area when they re-engage in Laurel. It's just, without that BKB, your blink isn't as effective. And there's a lot of ways to kite the Ursa, of course. You've got just a Ringmaster alone can be a massive nuisance. There's a lot of output here. The chains can hold you back. So you do have to wait a little bit longer for your bear to start to get comfy. But again, this is comfy times for Liquid. 9-7, 5K lead up, approaching the 20-minute mark. Tormentor could be a big objective here for Team Spirit. They're much closer together for that as well in comparison to Liquid trying to work the map. Lines are being drawn. So it looks like we might have a little bit of an engagement on hand before Tormentor or Roshan happens. The question for Liquid is, which one do you prioritize? Will you try to sneak Roche? Will you try to fight for Tormentor into Roshan, get everything? They are smoked.
Team Spirit, 5-man smoke against the 3-man smoke of Team Liquid. Ace looking to break the smoke of Spirit. Collapse, gonna have the smoke broken. We'll know they're just south of him right now. Boxy, he's gonna find the charge just in the nick of time. They are charging right into the side of Team Spirit, who have the high ground around this Twin Gate area. Meanwhile, Lal, he gets caught. Lal is down. Will of Wonder out. Liquid, they're going to get dragged into it, but Mike, he's rushing towards Panto. He wants the Pugna. They'll lose Ace in the meantime, though, on the Timbersaw. Still favorable for Liquid thus far, but Tofu's been left behind. Boxy, he'll rush back in. Tofu's going to die, but so will Rue. They'll chase down Boxy. Yatoro should have no problems fighting it, and he won't. Triple kill for Yatoro. Very back and forth fight.
And it would have been cleaner for Team Spirit if Collapse didn't kept caught with that smoke away from his team. If he was right in the position, you wouldn't have that info on Liquid, and you would have had a better start for Team Spirit. Still, you're seeing the output of this Gyrocopter. Just with that, the Crystallis alone, with the Manta, so much protection coming in for Yatoro. Doesn't even bother with the Ags. An Agless game for Gyrocopter this time around, paying off dividends. And that win for Team Spirit's massive because Team Liquid can't secure Tormentor. They can't secure Roshan. Spirit has time to get Tormentor and contest Roshan off of that win. So this 5k lead for Liquid starts to taper off a tad bit. Down to 3k with a Tormy take. Free shard for Panto, more nuisances with the Nether Ward now as well, with the AoE life drain that can come out, and a very quick swing through the gate. Mind you, there is vision here, but they don't cross down. Very obvious move you've seen a lot of teams do anyhow. Liquid should be prepared. And for Spirit, the one big part for them is you are getting a really good game for Yatoro. Like, this Gyrocopter is just getting to an insane point. It's difficult for Mike to be right on top of him as well. As we've seen in the last fight, he's forced to BKB to get the chains. He's forced to pop Enrage earlier on. He can't be on top of the gyro.
They're running right into Liquid. Nisha, he's invis right now. They won't see him. Nisha even having the full Parasma up as well. Plenty of damage output now from the puck. But certainly, as you were saying, Yatoro, he's getting to a stage now where you could start to get a little bit concerned about the damage output of the Gyrocopter. Daedalus will be completed and coming out very soon for Yatoro. Of course, Mike is still ahead, but certainly, as you've said, it has been a bit of a challenge to just jump and focus down this Gyrocopter in the middle of these team fights, especially considering you do need to focus Panto first. In fact, mid lane, they're focusing Nisha, and Nisha, he's been perma-stunned. Beautiful rotation from Collapse and a fantastic kill for Team Spirit. And they're looking for Roshan.
I mean, this is dangerous. Without that puck, without the Dream Coil, contesting Roche, it doesn't feel completely safe for Liquid whatsoever. In fact, it looks like they're just going to have to surrender it. So they give out Tormentor. They give away Roshan as well. First Aegis, not in Ursa, never feels good. They're clumped around the area somewhat, but not fully in it. And Roche, it is fairly quick. They got to make their mind up here.
No, and they're coming. Ace, he's trying to jump into the pit. He looks after Panto. First Panto, he's barely alive as Roshan does now go down. Liquid, they're still looking to force this fight, though Panto's somehow still alive. They'll finally kill him. So just a one Pugner kill is all they'll find. Roshan, of course, does go the way of Team Spirit. Yatoro with the Aegis up. They'll be okay with losing Panto. It's just watching how long it takes to kill this Pugman.
Yeah.
It's a little concerning for Liquid because if Panto's alive, Mike, he can't successfully actually go after anyone.
And Mika is trying to go into that full nullifier up now. I mean, he's making decent progress, but that's the one thing for the side of Liquid, or burst damage. It's hard to leverage, especially if Ace can't find that right position. I think some of these fights, especially that fight, that top Tormentor fight, his mobility is cut off because there's so many trees. He can't just whirling that around. He might be able to cop this gank. If he survives long enough, they could still fight with a tier 1 to TP2, but Spirit think better of trying to jump a Timbersaw. Maybe down bot, even Collapse pretty slippery with that blink. Just clearing out the wave, preventing a way for Liquid to look for compensation for losing an objective. Still, as time ticks on, that nullifier starts to become a reality for Mike. And, you know, it simplifies it to an extent. It's just a question of, are you really just going to try to jump Panto first? You really need to find Yatoro at this point. They can manage the 2 lives of the Gyrocopter. It doesn't feel too oppressive yet. Like, there's no lifesteal to speak of on Yatoro. There's no prolonging of that secondary or first life. So you can actually make some plays there. It's just a matter of, again, can you kill him fast enough before the rest of the team shows up here?
Spirit, they're looking for the tier 2 mid tower. Nisha's going to TP in, ready for the defense. Ace will come in as well. Spirit, Kisses are going to fly out on Yatoro. They don't really hit the big jump in from Mike. Collapse and Panto. They get ripped a new one. Boxy, he does go down, but Team Spirit, they might be the ones that need to retreat. Liquid, they're going to reset. Walk back for a moment, wait out their spells. Nisha, he'll jump back in, but Lul's already gotten out of there. Oh, Collapse and Panther. They lasted all but a second.
That's a really strong flank coming out there from Liquid. Taking care of that backline just makes it much simpler. No need to worry about the roll. No need to worry about those decreps coming in. Would have been maybe all right for Mike, but not for everyone else, even with that nullifier. So it's a nice win. Spirit shouldn't feel too bad. They didn't get the roll off. They didn't lose Aegis. They didn't manage to stand their ground without that Pangolier. That is one thing as well for Spirit. The Chain Gang is really strong in area control, but you really need the follow-through or the setup from the Rolling Thunder to feel confident in wider engagements. And without Collapse, it just kind of falls flat for Team Spirit. 15-12, 7K lead coming out for Liquid. Yatoro is #1 net worth. That Daedalus has been doing some work as they chase more.
Tofu's going to show up top. We'll find out the hard way, though. Plenty of Team Spirit heroes around the area. There's no helping coming for Tofu. Collapse will take his life away. Still 1.5 minutes on the Aegis of Spirit. Looking to take whatever they can. They'll go for the tier 1 top. Ace will TP in. Perhaps looking to start a fight. He'll move on to Pano, and Panto, he needs a bit of help. Nobody's looking to help him out there. They're a little bit afraid of where Liquid's coming from. Ace will find Panto first. Now Nisha, he's jumped in, but his perma-stun Collapse, just locking him down. But he's still got the Yules off in time. Nisha, a little bit of time left to survive this one. Meanwhile, Mickey, he's been cleaning up. Nisha surely cannot get away. Another phase shift. Last still chasing. Blink away. Meanwhile, Yatoro being left alone in the river. He'll lose the Aegis as Nisha actually made it out of the fight. He gets to the fountain. Meanwhile, Boxy chased down. Mickey also fighting Yatoro. Yatoro will chase him down, but Mickey, it's a 1v1 engagement. Collapse will intervene. Collapse will ensure Yatoro can't lose that fight. And Team Spirit, they'll be okay with that one. They got the Ursa.
They got the Ursa. Only lose their 2 supports. Aegis, maybe not the biggest deal at this point. Probably had like half a minute left on the respawn anyhow. Big miss for Spirit in not finding Nisha, but Nisha has been dancing around quite nicely. Just managing to get that spacing just right to cut off. A little bit of a deep charge here from Boxy. Not going to fully commit. Jump onto Collapse. Still a relatively even game. Despite those wins out for Spirit, the net worth advantage is still towards Liquid. Yatoro has become unstoppable on this gyro, and now that he's getting the full Satanic up, it gets really scary as you're seeing there for the Ursa in these prolonged fights. Like, yeah, you can be on top of him now. You do have damage, but going through that sustain with a lot of backline saves, with a lot of really cheap spells from Spirit to help maintain that control. Like the chain's not the longest cooldown. You can just constantly look to poke and prod, prolong these fights. And a prolonged fight is not necessarily what you want on the Ursa. You want to get that burst going. You want to instantly, not instantly, but you know, within a second, kill someone with Fury swipes and overpower and enrage. And this is not that kind of game for Mike, at least when it comes to the cores. Outside of maybe Collapse if you chain stun him.
He's going to have the Basher coming out. See, as we saw, he did have to try for the Nullifier first, just for the sake of dealing with Panto throughout these fights. Perhaps the Basher will make all the difference here for Mike. The problem is, though, Yatoro, he is farming up now the full Satanic on this Gyrocopter, which does make it relatively hard to actually deal with this man. Of course, again, as you can see, Mike going for that standard Basher build-up on the Ursa now. A very close game between these two sides. Ags even up on Niche. With that Parasma, it does hurt quite a lot.
I like it in this game. It does feel like there's a little bit of a damage issue if you remove Mika from the equation. Like, Ace can kind of get that, but you kind of want...
Collapse.
Oh.
He's like a magnet for Nisha, this guy. He won't leave Nisha alone. Perfect setup from Collapse.
And they know that timing. You know, right around Grun timing, they still have this really awkward early ward on mid that's just giving off this info.
Ace is going to jump in anyway. Ace could not give a crap. He wants the fight. Rue, Glimmer Cape, Life Drain, everything to keep the Ringmaster alive. And Ace, trying to think about it, will eventually chain away. Satanic now completed on Yatoro in the meantime.
It's a bit surprising. It does look like Liquid should be able to get control over that amp damage rune down bot, despite losing that mid-fight. And it is a little bit threatening with Mike having it. At least Roche isn't up yet, and you're not going to be able to snag anything away. It's going to be at least a minute until it's back up. We'll see on the spawn timer how long it would be. A little bit of a sneaky gate movement here.
Oh, Mike's here though. Boxy baiting Collapse in. He'll lose his own life, but it's well worth the trade. Well worth it. It's Mike perfectly fine to BKB TP out of there. You love to see that from Boxy.
Yeah, it's a lot of time being dragged here out from Team Spirit. It is still a meaningful kill in that the lanes do open up, but it doesn't feel like the charge global kill threat has really been there for Liquid anyhow in this kind of game. It's a lot slower compared to what we've been seeing from previous Spirit Breaker games here from Boxy. And for Liquid's part, the key thing now is exerting that Roche control. It's going to be 40 seconds, not the longest respawn. So we'll have to see if they can actually get Roche number 2 going their way for Mike, who, as an Ursa, really wants to just clear that objective. They'll hand over to Torm again. Toro himself gets the free shard. A little bit more of that homing missile and the rocket barrage on top of it. But can you find Roche? Can you fight around Roche here for Liquid? Team Spirit, it just feels like there's this massive wall you have to contend with. If you can chain stun Collapse, it gets easier. But if Collapse can just jump on top of Nisha, and he doesn't have anything defensive on this puck, Nisha's queuing up the shard into BKB out of respect, but until that's up, if Spirit opens the fight first, we've seen it multiple times now. This puck, it's not that slippery.
Collapse again, he's been absolutely fantastic with these initiations. That's the key. The bane of Nisha's existence this game has been Collapse's Pangolier. BKB up on Boxy, which is just in time for the Roshan respawn to boot. Big objective for either side. If you're Team Spirit, you want first dibs on that Roshan, but if you're Liquid, you understand you can't let this go for free. So Spirit, they have smoked up as 5, hoping that somebody comes for that regen route. Trying to bait Nisha in. They'll leave it for now. They'll find Tofu. No, they won't. Ward placement a little bit too late. Tofu to break the smoke. Spirit, instead, are just going to force the fight by starting Roshan. So much vision as well from Team Spirit. They're just seeing from all angles here in the Radiant jungle. They do stop the Roshan right after the Roar, trying to bait Liquid into position. Again, they have vision. Collapse knows he's going to find Nisha again. Perfect setup. Wheel of Wonder. Nisha, he barely face shifts, but can he actually get out? No. Rue will catch him. That's your puck down for a full minute. That should be a free Roshan for Spirit if they want it. But they're still paying a lot of respect here to Team Liquid because they know Liquid, they will not retreat.
No. I mean, again, props, like you mentioned, to these wards. They've had so many good wards in Team Spirit. All of these entrances towards the Roche area, towards the river, the mid ward that killed Nisha as well. This vision game feels so targeted onto this puck. Like, they know where he's farming. Collapse is just able to blink roll. Find these kills every single time onto the key team fight here of Liquid. Yatoro starts onto Roche again, roars again. They've got to do something about this on Liquid somehow.
Shan's still perfectly fine. Nisha gonna have the time to respawn, just 15 seconds away. Spirit, retreat. Victoria's trying to finish off the butterfly before the next fight. Almost there. He's that talisman of evasion.
Something for everybody.
Make life even harder for Mike in this next engagement. Mike trying to go for an Abyssal Blade up into the shards. No real evasion pierce yet for the Ursa. Team Liquid, they'll pop a smoke. Roshan's moving up to the top pit. Liquid, they'll run into the dire jungle. They got to scan out on Lal. Lal's pretty hard to catch though on this Ember. They won't see him yet. Some D wards to come here from Liquid as the butterfly now from Yatoro is up. This Gyrocopter going to be an absolute menace to this next fight. They'll run into Boxy. He does have the bulldoze. Collapse though is already on the chase with the Rolling Thunder. Trying to lock down the Spirit Breaker. He'll have to turn on Ace, but he's not found the fight he really wanted. Now Boxy trying to charge back in. Will retreat eventually. They'll jump Ace on the Timber Saw. Ace, he's been hypnotized by the Wheel of Wonder, but the damage output, not there yet. Mike, he'll jump in. So will Nisha. Trying with the Dreamcore to lock them down. They'll try to the Gyrocopter, but there's just no damage output. Nothing will come of it. Liquid, forced to run. Nisha will be targeted. He'll orb away. They'll continue the chase. Meanwhile, Boxy looking for another strike. Will cancel his Rue. He does lose his life to Mickey. Boxy, he'll charge back in. Such a long team fight coming out. Liquid just kiting in and out of this fight. Ace almost down. Surely dies. He will. They even found Boxy now. Team Spirit really wanting to capitalize. Lol, he's found the big dog. He's found the Ursa. Can they kill him? Mickey bouncing away, but Yatoro right on his tail. He'll find the kill. Nisha the only survivor. And that'll be Roshan for Team Spirit.
This double whammy timing on Yatoro, the Satanic and the Butterfly. You have so many issues on Liquid. There was a lot of time for Mike. He was trying to wail down on this gyro, but the Satanic kicks in, he misses a couple of hits, and he just makes the call to try to retreat. But by then, they've already committed on the side of Liquid. And he is trying to queue up the MKB now. He's trying to find a way to pierce through at least the evasion. Even then, like the sustain from Satanic, you have nothing to reduce that. Like there's no Shivas coming out anytime soon. There's no Spirit Vessel being carried around. You are just at full effectiveness here for Yatoro. No Scotty as well, of course. How do you stop the gyro? Like, yeah, Mika has been getting on top, but the damage just has not felt good. And Yatoro, with this huge advantage, has just been really capitalizing at every single stage. That early Chrysalis timing he was playing with his team. You know, he gets this build up into the Pike, he still sticks with the team. Like, he knows when he's strong. This early Manta pickup as well to at least counteract some of that control coming in from the side of Liquid has just been massive in allowing this aggressive style. Tier 3 already gone on mid, and Rax just melting down to this gyrocopter. And for Liquid, doesn't feel like there's any safe answers here.
Well, Boxy's going to charge on a Panto. Panto's still very, very safe in the back. Yatoro, not scared of anything right now, the gyrocopter. And keep in mind, all these fights have been without the Axe Gyro.
Yeah. I mean,
Black Cannon, it's the side gunner wasn't even there this whole
No. And that was his sustain just purely off his own right click a while ago when Mika tries to go on top of him. But the burst damage just really isn't there. Like, this Ursa normally melts here so quick, but with the Butterfly, with Satanic, again, it's just a lot for Mika to have to work through. Even the damage coming in from Nisha. You know, the Ags is nice. It's not nice enough. It's not, you're not at the point where you have like Mjolnir up on the puck, trying to machine gun down with a coil. It will take more time for that threat to really materialize, and for Team Spirit, I mean, they can kind of take it slow if they'd want. You scaled really nicely still with Ember Gyro. At the same time, there's no reason to. There's just no answers from Liquid. They'll start to apply pressure onto the Tier 2s. You are trying to cut the creep waves quite well here on Boxy, at least put some pressure on some of this high ground siege. But mid's always going to constantly shove in anyhow. They've found the top Tier 2. You can easily repair these side lanes as well in the mid lane. And for Team Spirit, I mean, they still have 2 minutes 40 on the Aegis. Like, it took them no time to take mid. There's a huge allowance to find a secondary Rax or all the outer towers with one Tier 2 left standing bot.
Team Spirit. Mid Rax down, Aegis up for 2.5. They want to go for more. Prime position. Mickey, so close to having the MKB up. Just trying to get the gold in time. Even without buyback. You've got to buy the MKB if you're going to try and force this defense, because there's just no other damage coming for Yatoro. There's your MKB. Mickey will commit, no buyback gold left, but it's the only choice they have. Nisha will start the fight. There goes Mickey, jumps in, and this time they've got the gyro, at least for the first life. Can they do it a second time? Yatoro, now aware the MKB is available, will continue onto the Rax. Mickey's looking to jump in though. The charge not going to land on the gyrocopter, but Mickey has jumped the gyro. Yatoro fighting back. Mickey in the middle of all with Will of Wonder. It's too much. It is too much, that Will of Wonder. They are hypnotized. And that'll be Nisha down too. No buyback available for either Mickey or Nisha. Team Spirit so close to the grand finals of Wallachia Season 6 now. Boxy will go down. Triple kill for Yatoro. Tier 4 towers under siege. There's nothing stopping them. Ace will keep trying. So will Tofu, but it's 2 versus 5. Onto the Ancient. Team Spirit not stopping. Boxy, he has buyback now. He'll commit it right away, just charging right in, trying to find at least something, but the immediate damage output. Yatora's having none of it. They'll keep going, but Ace will go down. Nothing's left. They might as well die Fountain. In fact, they will try, but GG's call. Team Spirit, your first grand finalists of Wallachia Season 6.
They get it done in really strong fashion as well here on Spirit. Liquid, there were some good ideas, right? Like